Hello, hello. I almost forgot that it's Monday and it will be my last weekly reading probably for a few weeks. So I better jump on and record it for you. I've used balance because I have just yesterday done a 12-hour journey by car with my mum and my kids, returning from a family holiday and needing to just get balanced. But it really is the perfect sort of point for us all collectively to look at where we are out of balance more than balance, because this week is the solstice point. So for us here in the southern hemisphere, it's the summer solstice, and in the north, it's the winter solstice. But either way, the midway point between the two solstices is the equinox, where we are feeling more balanced. And when we get to the solstice points, we can feel where the dynamic has been pulled. It's like the pendulum swing at that highest point just before it changes direction and swings in the other direction. So in the southern hemisphere, we are at our height of yang energy, summer, sun, intensity, sociability, outward kind of forward momentum, versus the northern hemisphere, where it is the height of yin, more inward focused, intuitive, sensitive, creative, all the more yin energies. And so when we are fully in one versus the other, then we can see maybe it's time to redress the balance, and then we head towards the equinox point, and then we hit the opposite solstice, and then we head towards the equinox point again. So for those who like to work with moon magic or any kind of manifestation, these solstice points and equinox points are really, really powerful and pivotal. Literally, they are pivot points. And so balance is what we are now trying to seek, where we've gone almost too far in one direction and the pendulum needs to swing back. We also have the first quarter moon, which comes as the next yang point of taking some kind of decision or action from the Sagittarius new moon, which was last week. And by the end of this week, I think it's actually on Sunday, Mercury, which is retrograde all week, steps from Capricorn back into Sagittarius for a little stint back in Sagittarius before turning around and coming on the 1st of Jan, if I'm not mistaken, and coming back in the direction that he has been. So yeah, we're going to have a few interesting things to feel into this week. Remember to pick a card between 1 and 4 and we'll dive in. And I definitely think we do have some work to redress the balance set up for us this week from the reading. So I have put in some little hearts, crystal hearts, to bring us back into our heart, which is really, really important, and my pendulum, which will help us to swing. And with that, here is our weekly reading. So you can see we've got two upside down cards. Both of those are minor arcana. We've got two major arcana cards, and they are both upright. We start the reading with the Eight of Pentacles, which is a card that I really like, but I think here it's talking to us trying to take shortcuts, and especially with the Six of Wands in this reading upside down as well, I feel like there may be points at which we really need to check ourselves, and this will very much tie in with both the Mercury retrograde and the solstice point, and then with the first quarter moon. How do I take a decision or take action to do this differently? Because what we might be finding now is that we can see where we are trying to take shortcuts or handle things in a way that seems like the path of least resistance in the moment, but actually is very repeating of a pattern that doesn't serve us or those around us. I think that might be something that shows up quite strongly for us. And you know what, for anybody who is celebrating holidays with family members, oh, sorry, I think I just stuck my finger in the frame there. With family members or alone, not with family members, as I've said in my readings before, these are poignant times for us to recognize patterns and how we react to them. And it's not easy to see these things. So the Lover's card is very much about relationships, and not just a relationship with a lover, but all relationships, in fact. And what I find interesting about this card, it's actually got the tattoo of the archer on the shoulder. It's a Gemini card, which is the opposite sign to Sag. This Sag is the season that we're in now. And this is the card that was the theme of last year. This year has been the Chariot, but last year was the Lovers. So at this point last year, we were still in the Lovers card. So I do kind of feel like there is quite a reflective, Mercury is in retrograde, quite a reflective nature for us at the moment to look back, certainly to this time last year, but just in general. I mean, I know not everybody celebrates Christmas, but I have that Christmas carol thing, like to Christmases past. Look back to Christmases past and ask yourself, where did I speak out and cause drama? Where did I not speak out and I suffered? Those kinds of things. So it's going to be personal to you, of course, and obviously whichever number you picked is going to be the strongest one for you. But remember that major arcana are part of our bigger archetypal hero/heroine's journey, and they're a little bit more outside of our control. So the more that we can reflect on the relational dynamic, rather than trying to do what seems like the path of least resistance that gets us through, like push through, just get through to the end of the week, just get through to the end of the season, whatever it is, that's not the way forward here. If this card is upright, we're very resourced and we have all these wonderful tools and we can do things in correct timing. You can see the moon phases on it. There's a cyclical nature. Whereas when it's upside down, it's like we just want to get the thing done. We don't really want to draw from our positive resources if it's going to create uncomfortable relational dynamics. But sometimes we need to get into the uncomfortable dynamic to win the race. And this is a card also that when it is upright is literally winning the race. It's the winner's circle. It's a celebration. And family gatherings, which many of us do at this time of year, are celebrations, but they can also be commiserations. They can be super triggering. So if we are looking at the resources, taking the time, looking at even one or two little things we can do differently to how we've done it before, if we suffered under our previous pattern or others did, then instead of, feeling defeated, feeling like we failed, actually failing, we will be able to find that it was a win overall. And anytime you put a lot of different personalities in a space, you're going to have a little bit of discomfort, a little bit of triggering, but also take time to focus on what is going well. Because we've also got the death card, and that does indicate the death of a cycle. Now, when we get to a solstice point, we are kind of like ending our trajectory in this side of the world, the yang or the yin for the northern hemisphere. So there is a death of the season happening as we begin to move into the next season. But I think also with the dynamic, with all the other cards that are coming up here, it's the death of an old relational dynamic that hasn't been creating a win, that hasn't been optimal, that hasn't been healthily using our resources. And that might be in one very poignant and pivotal relationship for you. You might see that. Or it may be a lot of spaces where you turn and you look at yourself. How do I relate? And how is the way that I relate serving myself and others? And I want you to put myself first in that sentence, unless you're somebody, and I would imagine most people watching my readings are more about putting others first. But if you're the person who puts yourself first, then I want you to put others first in that sentence. What am I doing in relationships that either doesn't serve myself and others, or doesn't serve others or myself? Because we have to try and find that balance. And of course, you can never make everybody happy. That's just impossible to do. And it's important to remember. So for those who are people pleasers, then it's very important for you to go, well, first I have to please me. And then with that, I can please as many people as I can do if I'm okay, if my cup is full. And when we're at that first quarter moon phase, as we are still, if we're doing our work well, when we get to the last quarter moon phase in 2 weeks, we will have energy and love and reserve in our cup so that we can give back to others. So this is quite a crucial point in the moon cycle, where if you are not tending to your own needs, you will be spent by the end of the lunar cycle, and you won't be able to take your wondrous energy, your magic, your joy, your enthusiasm, your love, and give it out to others, because you'll be dry. So it is important, the decisions, the actions we take at first quarter, we put ourselves in a position to keep filling our own cup so that we can be of service to others. Something needs to die for something to be reborn. Don't kill yourself to help others survive. Put the oxygen mask on yourself first, then help others. Of course, if you are somebody who always puts your own needs first, you're going to want to turn that around a little bit and say, okay, I keep trying to protect myself at the expense of others, and that's not winning. That's not winning. That's not using my resources healthily. And that's not a mutual relationship. That's not a relational dynamic where everybody is being nourished. And of course, everybody is not being nourished all of the time. But again, we are at that height of the pendulum swing where it pauses at the one side before it drops. So if I am completely giving too much and I have nothing left, I've gone too far. If I am taking all the time and I'm not considering others, I've gone too far. So this is a really powerful week to look at those dynamics within yourself and be honest with yourself. It's not easy to do. We all know that. But be honest with yourself, and then be honest with those you're in relationship with. And if they can't hear you, recognize that and ask yourself, well, where should I be expending my energy? And how should I be expending my energy? Okay, sending lots and lots of love and light and Christmas blessings. I don't think I'm going to be here for a reading next week. So I wish you, if you celebrate Christmas or anything that you celebrate, I wish you a wonderful time. And I will be going on a little break. But remember that all my Udemy courses are currently being gifted. So check the links below this video if you are interested in any of my Made Simple courses, including Moon Phases Made Simple, Crystals Made Simple, Aromatherapy Made Simple, Meditation Made Simple, journaling Made Simple. I think I've mentioned them all, but just go and check out the links below. And if you are already a Udemy user, then you just click the link and get the free course. If you're not, you just apply, fill out your form to be an Udemy user, and then use the free coupon. I wish you a wonderful, wonderful time with family, with friends, and most importantly, filling your own cup.